Trump showed up in Washington, D.C. to his immunity trial to see if he is immune from these charges. And he's being completely set up by the Department of Justice by a fake trial system. I'll show you the reasons why that prove how nearly all of his judges are completely compromised already. So I'm already predicting he's not going to win this. At the time of this actual production of this video, I don't know the outcome. I'll tell you already, they're not going to come out and say that he is immune from these challenges. He can still go up to the Supreme Court. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug Tenaple. This is where the happy patriots are. And this is where we reveal the truth about what's happening to Trump so that you're better informed and you don't have to go off making really bad arguments with your friends that involve only conspiracies. So first, here's the three headlines. New York Times, Trump's claim of immunity leaves judges skeptical. Okay, that's their claim. The Washington Post, Trump's immunity claim draws skepticism from judges. The Hill, appeals judges question Trump's immunity defense in 2020 election case recap. Now, first, none of these are going to talk about the judges. The judges are a giant scam compromise, especially one judge, Judge Pan. Here's Julie Kelly on X. Some info on Judge Florence Pan, one of the judges on the three-judge panel hearing oral arguments on Trump's appeal of Judge Chutkan's order denying presidential immunity in January 6th case. So this is all the scoop on one of the judges, Judge Pan. Okay. She's an Asian lady. She's completely compromised, in bed with Chutkan, has a past with Merrick Garland. This is a scam. And Merrick Garland, the Department of Justice, why does he keep showing up? You're going to crack up when you see this one. This is insane. Pan, appointed by Joe Biden, is married to Matt Steer, a Democrat Party activist and one of Brett Kavanaugh's chief antagonists. So this has gone after our Supreme Court, Brett Kavanaugh. Steer claimed he observed Kavanaugh entangled in lewd behavior at Yale. This is during his confirmation hearing. He reported it to the FBI. Okay, so now they're going to the Department of Justice. What was this, Christopher Wray? And Senate during Kavanaugh debacle. From the Washington Post in 2020, quote, in one of her first hearings Wednesday, Judge Pan, took over the politically sensitive lawsuit brought by 2016 Trump campaign advisor Carter Page against the FBI, the Justice Department, and several former officials, alleging they unlawfully surveilled and investigated him during the FBI's Russia probes. This goes all the way back to all that 2016 stuff, but they're all the same players keep showing up. So that's Judge Pan. She's been strangely involved. Anytime they need a 2-3 majority, it looks like it could be 1-1. They'll have one Bush appointee. They'll have one Obama appointee, and they throw in Judge Pan like she's neutral. She always goes to the left. She always goes against conservatives. A DC veteran, Pan offered to recuse herself from the case, saying, so this is so ridiculous, because she had been friends with a lawyer for defendant Lisa Page, a former FBI attorney. Pan said she has known Page's attorney, former Justice Department lawyer Amy Jeffries, for 27 years, attending her wedding, and met Page at a party. So these guys have been in bed all the way back. Don't ask me why Pan didn't recuse herself on this one. Why? Because Jeffries, this is her friend who was married, a friend of 27 years who was married to DC District Court Judge Chris Cooper, appointed by Obama. Wait, it gets worse. Merrick Garland officiated the wedding. Guys, this is so incestuous and disgusting. Why wouldn't she recuse herself when Merrick Garland is obviously appointing all of these people to go after Trump? Although the three-judge panel, Pan's one of those three judges, are supposed to be, quote, randomly selected, Pan oddly is seated on an unusually high percentage of consequential political cases. She was on both panels to hear arguments on an appeal related to 1512C2, obstruction of an official proceeding. So this involves a lot of the J6ers too. Pan was the decisive 2-1 judge in both decisions upholding Department of Justice's use of post-Enron statute. That's what they're getting Trump on. Her lead opinion, it was her lead opinion, and I use that term pejoratively in Fisher versus USA, is now under review at the Supreme Court. We're going to find out if they go along with it. Now, while Penn admitted the novel use of the 1512C2 in the J6 cases, that is, she used an old Enron, a 2006-2007 era law, more than 300 J6ers slapped with the evidence tampering felony for their conduct on J6, as is Donald Trump. She nonetheless adopted the broadest reading of the 1512C2 to uphold the Department of Justice's interpretation. Pan and Childs, also on today's panel, upheld Judge Beryl Howell's non-disclosure order preventing Twitter from notifying Trump about Jack Smith's subpoena of his data and Howell's $350,000 fine against the company X. So that's back when X was trying to, the Department of Justice was trying to get X to spy on Trump's Twitter messages. And Elon Musk said, I'm not going to give that to you. And then Jack Smith goes, how about we fine you $350,000 is what we start with. Judge Pan said, quote, the whole point of the non-disclosure order was to avoid tipping off the former president about the warrant's existence, unquote. So she's already set up against Trump. What a corrupt scam. Pan and Childs, again, along with Obama appointee Cornelia Pillard, also upheld Howell's extraordinary ruling that pierced attorney-client privilege between Evan Corcoran and Trump in a classified documents case, forcing Corcoran to turn over all the records to Jack Smith. A decision, by the way, that never should have been made in D.C. since the alleged crime happened in South Florida. Pan expressed no jurisdictional concerns there. And this is dial a judge for when you really are up against the wall and you really want to nail Trump. Who else do you call but Pan? Pan's been assigned to several panels for appeals filed by the J6 defendants. Just last week, Pan denied the appeal of Russell Alford, convicted by a D.C. jury of 4 misdemeanors and sentenced by Judge Chutkan to 12 months in prison. Why? Quote, the trial evidence indicated that during Alford's brief time within the Capitol, he was neither violent nor destructive. Nevertheless, we affirm his convictions because a jury could rationally find that his unauthorized presence in the Capitol as part of an unruly mob contributed to the disruption of the Congress's electoral certification and jeopardized public safety. He was inside for 11 minutes. Pan clearly came in ready to defend Department of Justice Jack Smith and her preposterous hypothetical about a president using SEAL Team 6 to kill a political rival was set up to result in all the deadlines we're already seeing. What are they talking about on that? Here's Judge Pan arguing that Trump getting immunity would allow another president to use SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political opponent.
President ordered SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival. That's an official act in order to SEAL Team 6?
He would have to be and would speedily be, impeached and convicted before the criminal prosecution.
What if he weren't? There would be no criminal prosecution, no criminal liability for that?
Chief Justice's opinion in Marbury against Madison and our constitutional tradition and the plain language of the impeachment judgment clause all clearly presuppose that what the founders were concerned about was not.
I asked you a yes or no question. Could a president who ordered SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival who was not impeached, would he be subject to criminal prosecution?
If he were impeached and convicted first. And
so your answer is
no. My answer is qualified yes. There's a political process that would have to occur under the structure of our Constitution.
As I have suggested to some office holders and candidates, the D.C. federal courts must be shut down. This is according to Julie Kelly. These partisans are making some of the most important judicial decisions in the nation's history and are ill-equipped to do so. I agree. It is clear this 3-judge panel already has an order written to support Judge Chutkan's ruling that Trump does not have immunity from criminal prosecution. Why are we even wasting our time on a trial, my friends? I can't wait for this appeal to get done. for it to go down, for it to go to the Supreme Court, and they can straighten this stuff out and say, children, quit screwing around with our laws. This is not what's not for you to play politics. Chutkin, Pan, Jack Smith, you Merrick Garland, you corrupt frauds. I'm Doug in exile.